Hello everyone, what is up? It is me, Ewan from WhatCulture Gaming, joined in a rare appearance on this channel by Zoe Miss Kelly.
It's dog time.
That's right, the comic channel is invading gaming because there's been a new Batman Arkham image that has just dropped over the last half an hour, courtesy of Warner Bros. Montreal. And if you can't tell already, I'm really quite excited because I love Batman Arkham and I've been waiting for this game for a really long time. But anyway, the first image, they released them over a bunch of different social media channels and they form one cohesive whole, and it is Zoe.
The GCPD
The GCPD logo. Yes, we sleuthed a little bit and it looks as though this is just a basic image of the GCPD crest badge thing.
The thing.
You have the eagle at the top, you have Gotham City's kind of skyline underneath, you have all the other bits and bobs as well. And yeah, it's very exciting that it seems as though an announcement is coming in the near future. I'm thinking probably March because Arkham Knight had a similar announcement time around that area. There's certain PlayStation events coming up as well, but yeah, Zoe, are you excited?
Oh man, I mean, I played an ungodly amount of pretty much, I think, every single Arkham game, everything but the multiplayer because I didn't have friends.
Underrated?
Underrated,
There was a tragic story in there, sorry I cut you off.
But yeah, I'm excited, mainly for a lot of Riddler trophies and a lot of long nights pretending I'm smart by solving Riddler trophies.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, the GCPD thing is also very exciting because as silly as it sounds, I didn't expect them to focus that much on sort of Gotham itself. I feel like it's always event-based, so I'd be quite excited to see them sort of go into the nitty-gritty a tiny bit. Well,
there have been so many rumours for this title for the past goodness knows how long. Obviously, there was the cancelled Suicide Squad game from yonks ago. There was all sorts of other stuff that was rumored. There's a planned Damian Wayne game, which apparently, you know, kind of really died. And there's all sorts of other stuff going on. Main rumours considering that we might get a Dick Grayson origin story in here. It is meant to be, as far as we know, a sequel to Arkham Origins and not a follow-over from Arkham Knight. But anyway, there is also another juicy detail here because our friend and dear editor, Osley Beatty, actually hacked the images, I believe the technical phrase is.
He is Hacker Man.
He hacked them, and he discovered certain dates slitted through a few of them. So one of them is the 25th of January 2012, and the other is the 21st of July 2004. Apparently the 2012 date was the same in two of the images, and the other one was kind of just unique to one specific one. Now, he has mentioned that this could be a red herring, but we did some sleuthing of ourselves. I'm gonna need a conspiracy board in a second just to make sure I have everything to show. Basically, the dates that we kind of correlated most in terms of Batman comics, the Court of Owls stuff was going around January 2012, and you were more invested in that than I was.
I'm praying.
Because you actually read the Snyder Capullo series.
I read all of it. Obviously, when the rumors came out that it was going to be Court of Owls, I was like, let's do this. And then they were like, but maybe it won't. And I'm like, please, I beg. Because I think it would work well for some sort of secret conspiracy thing. I also think it would work very well if they sort of established that Batman was maybe aware of them at the beginning and sort of went onwards. I think that would be a very interesting way, like, to do it.
Yes.
But obviously, it could be.
Yeah,
a complete
it's not the only route that they could go, of course, because you mentioned as well around that time, 2012, Detective Comics, which is the other Batman title that tends to host most of the character stories. A story revolving around the Dollmaker was there as well, so that could be a potential side character in the game. Going back to 2004, I was digging, and it was Judd Winnick's run around July 2004, and there was loads of stuff going on with Jason Todd and Scarecrow and Man-Bat. Obviously, the Arkham timeline, you can't really cover those characters until you get to post-Arkham Knight, so it's interesting to see what, if any, significance these dates actually hold, because in terms of looking at where we're going with Arkham going forward, it's kind of an open slate. I'm really excited to see where we were going. Obviously, the images that they released last year alluded to organizations like the League of Assassins. We know that Lady Shiva still has unresolved stuff from Arkham Origins. There is all sorts going on here. I think the Cult of Cobra was another one. So what are you most looking forward to from these images so far?
Right, there was one that gave me genuine, not paranoia, but there is also a 2004 comic that's about Tarantula, who, for anyone who doesn't know, she's kind of awful, she's kind of the worst.
Oh, she's the one who did the thing to Nightwing.
Yeah, she's the worst, but also it would be a very clever way for her to be a reason that Dick Grayson gets involved in sort of Spiral and all of these secret activities. I think it'd be very clever, but then I'm a huge fan of the League of Assassins. I think it'd be a clever way to bring in all of the, like, really obscure ones, not just like, I'm Ra's al Ghul and I'm here again.
Spiral, for the uninitiated, is a super secret spy organization It's called Spiral.
Spiral.
You get it? It's a spiral. But yeah, I'm very curious to see what they're going with. The whole title, Capture the Night as well. I'd be surprised if that was the actual title they're going for the game. I mean, it could work. Everything we've had until this point has had Arkham in the prefix. So maybe they're dovetailing from Arkham to Night, following Arkham Knight. But
there's only so many times you can be like, Arkham Bat, he's an Arkham Bat. Please.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I'm also really curious to see how the GCPD factor into this. They're operating under the assumption that this is a Batman Arkham game. I'm going to assume that it's going to pick up from, of course it's about Arkham. I mean, operating under the assumption that it's a sequel to Arkham Origins. I'm going to assume that it's going to build on the relationship that Gordon forged with Batman at the end of Arkham Origins, and kind of working into the idea that, you know, the GCPD might still have some elements of factionalism inside. Obviously, there's still elements of corruption involved, so I wouldn't be surprised to see if Gordon maybe has some internal opposition going up against, you know, his cooperation with Batman. Maybe this game we see the introduction of the Bat Signal.
That'd be very good. I mean, if it became some sort of LA Noire, but with like a bunch of supervillains, I wouldn't complain for a minute, but that's definitely... I just want to see the maximum police officers that I can in this video game, and I don't know why.
I mean, Harvey Bullock was in the last one.
Bring me more Bullock,
and he was
please.
voiced by Robert Costanza, who was really good. He's in Die Hard 2, if you didn't know. But yeah, like all this sort of stuff, I'm really, really, really excited about. I can't really tell where it's going at the moment.
I think it's smart that they haven't been like, it's definitely about this. They've been like, it's a little riddle.
Yeah.
Little riddle from the Riddler.
I've been waiting so long for this game to come out. Anyone who's been keeping up with the channel will know that I'm literally just like dying for Arkham-related content forever. And now they're releasing the floodgates. It's all gonna come out. It's all gonna come out soon, hopefully. I'm kind of unaware of when really we could get an announcement. I think if they're gonna ratchet up the teasers now, I mean, goodness knows it was like 4 months since we had the last tease where Warner Brothers Montreal tweeted out that cryptic image of Capture the Night with all the different, you know, cults and organizations on there. So I'm going to hopefully assume that we might get more cryptic teasers in the months and weeks ahead, because obviously today they released it across different channels to form one cohesive message. And I'm really here for letting the fans puzzle together your own announcements, because I live to pick apart every little minute detail that I can. Anything that's going to be like, here, this image here informs this image, and then you maybe, oh, you didn't see that, we're going to tease you. I've been missing that from video game marketing. I don't know about you.
I kind of want it to them to like not even tell us when it comes out. They're like, you must solve these 3 riddles to actually know when you can buy the game. Gives you a little secret game pass. I wouldn't do that, but...
Although I do feel really insecure when I can't actually solve the Riddler's riddles. They're just really hard, okay?
He's just a smart guy.
But yeah, like, are there any villains that you're particularly excited to consider in this Arkham game?
I've been so treated with so many villains over these games. Like, I wasn't expecting, I don't know, the Ratcatcher.
The Ratcatcher did have
rocks up in the game, and I'm like,
Easter egg.
I love you guys. I really love, and you won't be surprised by this, as anyone who watched the comic thing, probably Bane. I know he's been in a lot of the games, but I also think he's had this weird characterization in all of them where he's like, he's either super high or really dumb. I can't figure out which. But either way, I don't think it's loyal to the character, and I think it'd be very interesting to have him sort of maybe initially seem like just a big, tough guy, and then you sort of realize later, like, oh no, this guy is terrifyingly smart also. But that's more what I want than what I think will happen.
I mean, Montreal did do him justice, I thought, in Arkham Origins, so they had him kind of take on a more Nightfall-ish-esque role where he terrorizes the Batcave. There are so many different things I'm hoping for with this title, and I feel as though most people have gone back to Origins now and have sort of reappraised it as being a very kind of underrated entry in the Arkham series. It's kind of my favorite, I want to say. And you know, if they let us do if they build up on what they accomplished in that game, you know, having the Batcave going in there, the Wayne Mansion was present in the Cold Heart DLC. There are so many different ways I can go with this, and I know for a fact that Patrick Redding, who worked heavily on Ubisoft Splinter Cell, he's the game director for this at the moment, so I'm very excited to see if there are any more stealth elements kind of being pushed further into the limelight, given that the past games haven't really made stealth its first port of call.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I love just going on top of a gargoyle to take a guy down like every single time, maybe a slightly more complicated fight system, or at least one that varies from what we're so used to, might be nice. Even though I don't want too much variation, because I'm kind of addicted to the 2 fight styles, and I think a lot of other games have been influenced by them ever since.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of at this point now, if there's no further announcement coming out after this, if it takes any longer than a month, I'm going to start getting the shakes.
I'm worried about you, to be honest.
Everyone's concerned about me. I had to fight Josh Brown and Scott to actually get in and record this. They were like, oh, I'm going to do it, Ewan. And I was like, no, No, you're not. I'm going to record this right now. But yeah, I'm very, very excited. The whole thing here is that they've released these images. It's the GCPD, at least it looks as though it's going to be the GCPD, and there are other stuff coming. So I assume maybe we'll get more obvious confirmations of certain organizations in the next few weeks. I hope that means we get a more concrete Court of Owls thing, even though it's kind of a given they're going to be in. I'm hoping to see other organizations as well. Maybe a build-up of the Task Force X/Suicide Squad tease we had at the end of Arkham Origins, which involved Amanda Waller walking into Deathstroke's cell and basically saying, you know, you're part of the Suicide Squad now. So I'm really curious to see how they bind all these threads together.
But then also, there's a good chance that we won't find out until we play the game, because it's not like it'll be the first time that they've made a big bad and then it turns out it's another guy. So I'm very excited to see like where they decide to take us with it vis-a-vis what they want us to expect from the game.
That is a very, very nice way to end the video. But yeah, please let us know what you thought of these brand new Batman Arkham teasers down in the comments below. Do you consider yourself a super sleuth, and will you actually be trying to unsolve them? I'm assuming there's going to be more in the weeks and months ahead. Once you've done that, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and head back on over to whatculture.com/gaming for more news, lists, and articles like this, and conspiracy theories about Batman Arkham from yours truly, because I really have a problem. You can follow me on Twitter at EwanRunesThings, where I'll just be typing and mashing my keyboard repeatedly from excitement. You can follow Zoe on Twitter at...
If you need to tell me that Ewan's having a breakdown, you can find me at Zemmaskel.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye. Buddy.